Hello everybody, Chris Killatia here back at PAX South 2018, and we're with Thomaz Gop. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Thomaz Gop.
And we're at the C1 seaport. I'm checking out Ancestors Legacy. Tell us a little bit about this game.
We are a history-inspired, medieval history-inspired, real-time strategy game. There's factions that represent real nations of Anglo-Saxons, Vikings, Germans, and Slavs, and each one of them has their own single-player campaign. So you're kind of reenacting the real historical events of the history of these nations. And also there's a multiplayer. And what we have in here for guys at PAX South today is a couple single-player missions set up on the Xbox One. You've played one of them, I believe.
Yeah.
And there's also a multiplayer that we've set up on the PC, so guys can try playing against each other. That's what we've brought in here. Okay. Oh, and by the way, we're releasing Q2 2018 for both of these platforms.
Okay, and was it challenging porting this game over to the Xbox One, considering that they have just the controller while the PC have the PC and mouse?
Well, the challenges of making the Xbox One version of the game was, I mean, not a lot of there are not a lot of strategy games on consoles to start with, and out of these that are there, not a lot of them have actually made good and responsive and cool controls, intuitive, accessible. So that's one thing that I believe we pulled off, and I believe this game plays really well on control. I mean, you can say for yourself because you have tried it out, and that's one thing. The other thing is you can see for yourself this game plays out quite well on Xbox One and One X, which is already 4K capable, and it runs quite smooth.
Okay, I'm going to ask about any kind of Xbox One X enhancement. You already said something about 4K.
Yeah, it's working in 4K.
Okay, and what about frame rates and such?
Right now, you are having 30 FPS in 4K, and in Full HD, you have 60 or even more. So that's no, sorry, it's locked for 60, but it's either way as you want, and that's pretty much it. Before the release, we're still planning to implement HDR. We'll see about that because we're still working on that. So we need time. I'm not saying definitely, but that's the plan.
Okay, and is the multiplayer cross-play compatible between the Xbox One version and the PC version?
Right now, not. But right now, a PC version, like for example, if you buy the game on Steam and if you buy the game on Xbox Live for Xbox, you won't be able to play between these two. Like owners of these two copies of the game will not be able to play against each other. But for example, if you use Play Anywhere or Universal Windows Platform, that's something that probably will make it possible to play the game between Xbox One and PC.
Okay, and you said you had the Germans and the I think Vikings. Were there a few other factions that's going to be available in the game, or are there any more planned for like potential DLC releases?
Right now there are 4 factions. So as you said, Vikings, there are Germans, Slavs, and Anglo-Saxons as well. Each one of them has their own single-player campaign, and each one of them is available at a multiplayer campaign. You can choose each one of these factions to play with in a multiplayer. And regarding the future, of course, we first want to release the game, and which is somewhere in Q2. And once we do that, we will think about what's next. We'll think about whether we want to do DLCs, whether we want to do more factions, maybe more single-player content, and also regarding other platforms. I mean, that's something also we've not decided yet. So there's a lot of decisions to be made once we release the game in a current shape.
Okay, well, I do have to say there was a pretty solid very solid strategy game. This is coming from somebody who don't normally play strategy games. So I do congratulate you on making a very solid one.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to hear that.
Thank you, and keep it right here for more PAX South coverage.